December 2018 was supposed to be the beginning of Miley Cyrus's fairy tale ending. After nearly a decade of on-and-off romance with Liam Hemsworth, the couple had finally tied the knot in an intimate ceremony at their Malibu home. The world watched as the wild child of pop music seemed to have found her peace with the quiet Australian actor who had captured her heart on a movie set years earlier. But behind the carefully curated Instagram posts and red carpet appearances, a different story was unfolding. Sources close to the couple later revealed that Miley had been experiencing doubts about their relationship dynamics for months before the wedding. Friends reportedly noticed changes in her behavior during the engagement period, describing her as increasingly anxious and questioning certain aspects of their future together. The 8-month marriage that followed would become one of Hollywood's most discussed breakups, not because of its brevity, but because of what allegedly transpired behind closed doors. Industry insiders suggested that Miley had discovered information that completely shattered her perception of the man she thought she knew. While the exact details remain speculative, multiple entertainment outlets reported on the existence of legal documents that may have contained clauses or arrangements that came as a shock to the singer. What makes this story particularly compelling is how it transformed one of pop music's most resilient artists. The woman who had survived child, stardom, public scrutiny, and multiple career reinventions was about to face perhaps her most challenging personal crisis. The discovery that would allegedly change everything wasn't just about betrayal in the traditional sense, but about fundamental questions of trust, respect, and the true nature of their relationship. The timeline of events suggests that whatever Miley uncovered happened relatively quickly after their December wedding, as cracks in their marriage became publicly visible by early 2019. Paparazzi photos from that period show a noticeably different dynamic between the couple, with body language experts later commenting on the apparent tension during their few public appearances together. The love story between Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth began in 2009 on the set of The Last Song, a Nicholas Sparks adaptation that would prove prophetic in its title. Miley was 17, transitioning from her Hannah Montana persona, while Liam was 20, a relatively unknown Australian actor trying to make his mark in Hollywood. Their on-screen chemistry was undeniable, and it quickly spilled over into real life. What started as a teenage romance evolved into something much more complex over the years. The couple's relationship became a public spectacle, with fans and media documenting every breakup and reconciliation. Between 2010 and 2016, they separated and reunited multiple times, each cycle more intense than the last. During their breaks, both dated other people, with Miley's relationships often making headlines due to her high-profile partners and evolving public image. Those close to the couple during this period later described fundamental differences that were apparent from early on. Liam was reportedly more traditional in his approach to relationships and career, preferring privacy and a quieter lifestyle. Miley, on the other hand, was exploring her artistic identity and pushing boundaries both personally and professionally. These differences created an underlying tension that friends say was always present, even during their happiest moments together. The pattern of their relationship was cyclical. Intense passion followed by dramatic separations, usually triggered by Miley's evolving image or career demands. Entertainment journalists who covered them during this period noted that their reconciliations often coincided with Miley's more conservative phases, while their breakups aligned with her more experimental periods. This pattern suggested deeper compatibility issues that went beyond typical relationship challenges. Industry sources later revealed that during their various separations, both parties had been linked to other people, creating a complex web of emotions and trust issues. While these relationships were often dismissed as rebound situations, insiders suggested they may have had lasting impacts on how Miley and Liam viewed each other and their future together. The entertainment press largely romanticized their reunions, but those closest to them reportedly saw warning signs that were consistently overlooked in favor of the fairy tale narrative. The December 2018 wedding ceremony at their Malibu home was deliberately intimate, with only close family and friends in attendance. Social media posts from that day showed a relaxed bohemian celebration that seemed to reflect a more mature chapter in their relationship. Miley wore a simple white dress, and the couple exchanged vows, surrounded by balloons and casual decorations. A stark contrast to typical Hollywood weddings. The low-key nature of the event was interpreted by many as a sign that they had finally found stability together after years of turbulence. However, entertainment industry observers began noticing subtle changes in their public interactions almost immediately after the wedding. Paparazzi photographs from early 2019 showed the couple at various events, but body language experts later commented on what appeared to be increased distance between them. Where previous photos had shown natural physical affection and spontaneous chemistry, newer images seemed more staged and formal. Social media activity also shifted dramatically, with fewer spontaneous posts featuring both of them together and more individual content. Friends of the couple later told entertainment outlets that the early months of marriage revealed lifestyle incompatibilities that had been easier to overlook during their dating phases. Sources suggested that living together as husband and wife highlighted different expectations about their future, including career priorities, family planning, and social activities. These differences reportedly led to frequent disagreements that began affecting their public appearances and work commitments. The honeymoon phase appeared to end much sooner than anyone expected. The entertainment press began picking up on rumors about financial disagreements and differing approaches to their careers. While Miley was entering a new creative phase and planning various projects that would showcase her artistic evolution, Liam was reportedly focused on more traditional film roles and maintaining a lower public profile. Industry insiders suggested that these career differences created tension about how much of their personal life should remain private versus public, with conflicting views on brand partnerships and media exposure. By spring 2019, eagle-eyed fans noticed that the couple's social media interactions had become noticeably more formal and less frequent. Where they had previously shared candid moments and playful exchanges online, their posts became more professional and distant. Entertainment journalists who had covered their relationship for years later described this period as the calm before the storm, suggesting that significant issues were brewing beneath the surface of their carefully curated public image. The turning point in their marriage allegedly came when Miley discovered information that fundamentally changed her understanding of their relationship and future together. While the exact nature of this discovery remains a subject of speculation among entertainment insiders, multiple sources suggested it involved legal or financial documents that contained unexpected provisions or arrangements. Industry professionals hinted that these documents may have revealed different expectations or agreements that Miley was not fully aware of during their courtship and engagement period. Entertainment lawyers familiar with celebrity marriages later explained that prenuptial agreements and related documents sometimes contain clauses that can be surprising to one party, particularly regarding financial arrangements, career decisions, or personal conduct expectations. Sources close to the situation suggested that whatever Miley found was significant enough to make her question the foundation of their entire relationship, not just their marriage contract. The discovery reportedly felt like a betrayal of trust that went beyond typical marital disagreements. The timeline of events suggests that this discovery occurred relatively quickly after their wedding, as the couple's public demeanor shifted dramatically in the months that followed. Paparazzi photos from mid-2019 showed them looking increasingly strained during public appearances, with visible tension that couldn't be hidden by their professional obligations. Entertainment reporters noted that they began attending events separately more frequently, and their social media presence as a couple virtually disappeared, replaced by individual posts that seemed carefully crafted to avoid mentioning each other. By summer 2019, rumors about their marriage being in serious trouble were circulating throughout Hollywood's inner circles. Industry sources suggested that Miley had confided in close friends about feeling betrayed and questioning whether she had ever truly known the person she married. The emotional impact of this alleged discovery was reportedly devastating, affecting not only her personal life, but also her creative work and public appearances. Those close to her described a woman who felt fundamentally deceived about the nature of her relationship. The final breakdown of their marriage played out in the public eye during August 2019, when representatives confirmed their separation after less than 8 months of marriage. The speed with which their relationship deteriorated surprised many observers, given their long history together and apparent commitment to making it work. Entertainment industry veterans later commented that the intensity of the collapse suggested deeper issues than typical marital problems, supporting speculation that significant trust had been broken through whatever Miley had discovered about their relationship arrangements or future expectations. The aftermath of Miley Cyrus's divorce from Liam Hemsworth marked one of the most compelling artistic transformations in recent entertainment history. Rather than retreating from the public eye or allowing the pain to consume her privately, Miley chose a different path that would ultimately define her as both an artist and a woman who refused to be silenced. The months following their August 2019 separation became a period of intense creative productivity as she channeled her emotional turmoil into what would become some of her most powerful and personal work. The most striking example of this artistic resurrection came with the release of Flowers in January 2023, a song that would become both a commercial phenomenon and a masterclass in musical revenge. The timing of the release was no coincidence. January 13th was Liam Hemsworth's birthday, a detail that did not escape the attention of fans or entertainment media. The song's lyrics, filled with references to self-love and independence, were widely interpreted as a direct response to her failed marriage and the discoveries that had led to its demise. Industry analysts later described Flowers as one of the most strategically brilliant pieces of artistic revenge in modern pop culture. The song debuted at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and broke multiple streaming records, proving that Miley's artistic vision had evolved far beyond her previous work. Music critics praised the track's sophisticated production and emotionally mature lyrics, noting how it marked a clear departure from the more experimental phases of her career towards something more focused and intentional. The music video for Flowers further reinforced the song's message of independence and self-empowerment. Shot in locations that held personal significance, including spaces that bore resemblance to the home she had shared with Liam, the visual narrative showed Miley dancing alone, celebrating her solitude, and literally picking up the pieces of her life. Fashion experts noted that her styling in the video deliberately echoed looks she had worn during happier times in her relationship, but reimagined them as symbols of her individual strength rather than romantic partnership. Beyond the immediate impact of Flowers, the song's success represented a broader transformation in how Miley approached her career and public image. entertainment industry veterans observed that she had learned to leverage her personal experiences as artistic material without compromising her dignity or descending into petty public feuds. The sophisticated way she handled her post-divorce narrative demonstrated an emotional maturity that surprised critics who had previously dismissed her as merely provocative. The financial success of Flowers and subsequent projects also provided Miley with a level of independence that may have been one of the most satisfying aspects of her revenge. Industry sources suggested that the song's massive commercial performance generated significant revenue, proving that she didn't need anyone else's support or validation to achieve success. This financial empowerment likely felt particularly meaningful given the alleged financial disagreements that had contributed to her marriage's collapse. The broader cultural impact of Miley's artistic response extended beyond music charts and streaming numbers. Women's empowerment advocates praised her for demonstrating how personal pain could be transformed into creative power without resorting to destructive behavior. Her approach became a template for other artists dealing with public breakups, showing that artistic expression could be both therapeutic and commercially successful. As time passed, the narrative around Miley's divorce evolved from a story of personal failure to one of artistic triumph and personal growth. Entertainment historians later noted that her handling of the situation elevated her from a pop star with a controversial past to a mature artist capable of turning life's most challenging moments into her greatest creative achievements. The woman who had once been defined by her relationships and public controversies had ultimately defined herself through her resilience, creativity, and refusal to be diminished by betrayal. The legacy of this period in Miley's life continues to influence her work and public persona, serving as proof that sometimes the most devastating personal discoveries can lead to the most powerful artistic statements. Her transformation from a woman reportedly betrayed by hidden marriage documents to an artist celebrated for her independence represents one of entertainment's most inspiring comeback stories.